Welcome to the Instagram stories for Friday, July 29th. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. I want to start off by thanking the one person who did take the time to go into the Spotify app and write an answer to my question about if Instagram should change to be more like TikTok or stay the way it's always been. The person wrote, neither. Chasing TikTok and staying the same are both losing strategies. Instagram should focus on what makes them Instagram. New features should complement what already exists rather than take over. I can't disagree with that. Sound logic. I also wrote, personally, because it's my show, I get to do that, I wrote a comment, I would like it to evolve, but I don't want to see so many ads because, man, do I hate ads. But good reminder to use Insta-Ander for an ad-free Instagram experience. However, the biggest news of the day is that the head of Instagram, Adam Mosseri, was interviewed by Casey Newton. Casey Newton used to be an editor and writer at The Verge, but then he went on his own in 2020 and he made his own newsletter, which I read and actually I really like. Casey did a really long interview with Adam Mosseri, and interestingly, Instagram is going to be walking back all of the things that we've been talking about this entire week. Here's a quote from Adam Mosseri. For the new feed designs, people are frustrated and the usage data isn't great. So there, I think we need to take a big step back, regroup, and figure out how we want to move forward. End quote. Now, just a little bit of context. If you missed the show 2 days ago, I talked about how the head of Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, said that the amount of recommended posts you're going to see in feed is going to increase over the next coming years. However, Adam Mosseri said that they're going to be rolling back that at least temporarily. Here's the quote from the article. Instagram will temporarily reduce the amount of recommended posts and accounts as it works to improve its personalization tools. Adam Mosseri wouldn't say by how much exactly. Here's the quote. Quote, when you discover something in your field that you didn't follow before, there should be a high bar. It should be great. You should be delighted to see it. And I don't think that's happening now. So I think we need to take a step back in terms of the percentage of feed that are recommendations, get better at ranking and recommendations, and then, if we do and when we do, we can start to grow again. I'm confident we will. End quote. I'm going to get into the highlights of the article, but first, a quick break. Do you want to reach more ideal customers on Instagram? Do you feel that you work really hard on your content? #Slayer.com is the easy-to-use Instagram tool that gets your posts seen. Reach new people, build your audience, but most importantly, grow your business. You can get your first month free by using the code IGStories at #Slayer.com. That's coupon code IGStories. And we're back. Let's dive deeper into this interview that Adam Mosseri gave to Casey Newton. I'm going to, of course, include the link to read the entire thing in the show notes so you can check it out. Casey Newton asked him specifically about the Kylie Jenner and Kim Kardashian meme that said, make Instagram Instagram again. There's an idea in there that there's a true Instagram, mostly about photos and friends, and a false Instagram that's all about recommendations and video. And Instagram is moving in the latter direction, which is wrong. He asked Adam Mosseri, does that feel like a fair framing of what the debate is? Adam answered in depth. He said that is accurate, but he thinks that there's a couple of different things going on. One thing is that they're testing the new version of the feed, which is immersive. Full screen photos, full screen videos. And only a small percentage of people are in that test, but some of them really hate it. So that's one part. Second is that Instagram always was about photos originally, but over time it's shifted. This shift has been happening for quite a while. Ever since Stories started in 2016, video's been part of Instagram for a long time, but people who are all about creating and consuming photos don't really feel heard on Instagram, which is definitely accurate. The third thing is that people who are upset about recommendations, which is seeing things from people you don't follow in your feed. If you come to Instagram looking for content about your family and friends, seeing all this content from people who you don't know and don't care about is kind of a jarring experience. I think that's absolutely accurate. The fourth group is the people who are frustrated with the amount of reach they get. I include myself in that group. There are times when I work really hard on something and it doesn't get nearly as much views as I think it should relative to the time I spent or how funny it is or whatever. Having said that, the algorithm rewards reels right now, so that makes me make more reels because I want more people to see what I'm working on. It's just a very frustrating cycle. Anyway, Adam Mosseri says that all of those 4 things got wrapped up together in one big issue, which I do agree with. But they're trying to explain everything and make it better and making changes over the next week or two to indicate that they are listening to the feedback that they're getting. That's going to do it for today's show. Thanks so much for listening. Definitely check out the link in the show notes. Thank you to the person who voted in my poll on Spotify. If you would like to vote, you still have an opportunity. You could just go back and find yesterday's episode on Spotify and give your opinion, which I would love and absolutely will share on the show. Be sure to come back on Monday for Mosseri Monday, where we break down the Q&A that Adam Mosseri posts. Thanks so much for listening and enjoy your weekend.
I'm not yet a member of the Instagram team, but my podcast covers many Instagram themes. But the name, image, logos are trademarks of Instagram and the LCC in the USA and every territory. Everything I publish independently until Zuck returns my DMs and starts to pay my salary. Not sponsored or endorsed, no lies, no fallacies. I use their logo with permission, not malicious or callously. No trademark violation, filling all criteria. Follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Daniel Hill Media.